Good day, acquiescing acolyte acquirers. I'm Unsilent, and we're on the air with more Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. It's episode 38 of TSL. Thanks for tuning in. Last time out, we met a new friend, or frenemy. Or, well, she tried to chop my head off with a red lightsaber, so she's wasn't exactly on the up and up, Visas Marr. Of course, I'm sure you guys were excited about seeing Visas show up, so recording this right after the last one, so it's I was gonna say last week would have been a busy week for me because busy working on videos and stuff for this week, obviously, and I had a meeting, might have been the last meeting I have. I do I'm on the board of directors for a local not-for-profit cultural board, and I've just kind of seen us just kind of like, we could get government funding and that'll keep us afloat. And it's like, can we try doing something to keep ourselves afloat without, relying on the government? There are times when I could sound incredibly libertarian like that, but I just feel like if you're not-for-profit, you should make an attempt to be, at least half self-sustaining. But if that appeal as the board's treasurer goes poorly, then I'm probably just going to have resigned by now, so I'll let you know next week how it goes. Anyway, since we're on board the Ebon Hawk, last time we liberated the Ebon Hawk from the Red Eclipse, then signed them up as accomplices, and then Visas Marr showed up in amongst all the fighting, I guess, and knocked everyone out. Anyway, hi Atton, how's it going?
Something up?
No, that was just you. No, that was the whole thing just kind of shitting itself for a second. Anyone, hi! Questions?
Alright, what did you want to know?
What's wrong with your face?
What's wrong with your face?
Do you think we could try this again?
Yeah, that's a surprise. Did he say I owed him credits too?
No, seriously, what's wrong with your face? And he says you're not Atton at all, that you showed up on Nar Shaddaa during the Civil War?
I'm as Atton will ever be. And whoever your trusted informant is, he's right. I did show up on Nar Shaddaa during the Jedi Civil War, along with a lot of other refugees.
Anything you want to mention about that?
No, because you're asking about it. If I wanted to tell you anything, I would have come and told you. Anything else?
Alright. If you got a problem, we can just, you can just settle it right now.
You know what? I helped you get off for
Now we're going back to the same conversation we had a couple episodes ago.
I'm trying to help you. I don't know why I'm bothering.
So why are you trying to protect me then?
I don't know. I'm not sure I understand it half the time.
I want to know where you were, let's see, this wasn't an option we had last time. I want to know where you were before you arrived on Nar Shaddaa.
You know what? Not once have I asked you about the Mandalorian Wars. Not once.
I heard about Duxon. Everyone has. I heard about Serico, and I sure as hell know about Malachor 5.
What makes you think you've got the right to interrogate me on anything? You've got plenty of lives to answer for. All you Jedi do.
Alright, then ask. If you got a question, ask away.
How did you even live with yourself after Malachor? Is that why you went back to the Jedi Council? Hoping they'd kill you?
Yeah, go on. Let's keep going.
But Jedi don't kill, do they? At least not their prisoners. Maybe you were counting on it when you went back in chains. So you got off easy. You were exiled, brushed under the cargo ramp, another dirty little Jedi secret. I'll tell you, all those Jedi at Malachor, they deserved it. Every last one of them.
They did not deserve it. Why would you even say that? There must be some reason you believe as you do. Why? You weren't there. You have no idea what happened. If you wish to die, keep talking. Okay, let's not go with 4. So there must be some reason you believe that.
Because Jedi lie, and they manipulate, and every act of charity or kindness they do, you can drag it out squirming into the light and see it for what it is. The galaxy doesn't need Jedi arrogance or Jedi hypocrisy anymore.
So, okay, so this is why everybody wants me to chat with Atton. Is he sure? He got some deep-rooted problems with the Jedi. That's for damn sure. So, 2 or 3 are the good options here. And 4's a good one. What do you mean? That's why the Sith were right, and that's why I'm no longer a Jedi.
The Jedi, the Sith, you don't get it, do you? To the galaxy, they're the same thing. Just men and women with too much power, squabbling over religion while the rest of us burn. At least the Sith are honest about what they're killing for. The Jedi are pacifists, except in times of war. They're teachers, except when it comes to telling their students the truth. And when they save you, it's only so you can suffer more.
Let's see, that's not the way of the Jedi. If you wish to die, keep talking. I've heard enough. No, I want to keep going, so I've got to go with 1. It's not a great option, but I've got to go with 1. So you're wrong, Atton. That's not the way of the Jedi.
Whatever, just leave me alone. I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you anyway.
Let's see. We could just keep going. No, let's go. No influence gained or lost, and I'm gonna say we could. I think there's plenty of time that we're gonna have to drag more out of him about that, but I think there's a lot to drag out of him about that. So, hang on. Before we go on T3, I just want to check. Let's see. So we got computer use and repair. So my computer use is better, so we can just use that. Just for fixing them up, of course. Let's see. Do you know where... Let's see. How's the Ebon Hawk? What's wrong with the astrogation systems? So how's the Ebon Hawk? Probably in better shape than he is, let's be honest. And what about the astrogation system? You locked it. Why did you do that? Protect who? Under whose orders? But the Republic is already in trouble. I'm not sure what you're protecting it from. Let's go with 2. It might appeal to him more. An old friend. They didn't want anyone to know where the ship had been. They didn't want the charts to be found by the Republic. An old friend? Now, we as players know who the old friend is. We as the character do not. At the same time, I'm not sure if I know what happened here. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. So, why was where this friend had gone so dangerous? How did the Ebon Hawk come back from there if it was so dangerous? And why? Oh, we don't get to know where Revan would have gone with the ship. Legends, especially around this time, my first instinct is, did it have something to do with the Yuuzhan Vong? I'm not familiar with the Vong storyline. I think I've mentioned that in the past, and I think I've done cutaway splices to sort of explain it in the past. You know, the did you know? I'm not familiar with the Vong storyline at all, because there's 20 plus books, novellas, short stories, etc., 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 that are about the Vong story. It's one of those things I might catch up on at some point in time, but certainly not in the near future. So anyway, how did it come back from there if it was so dangerous, and why?
T3, you have been with us since Terrace. Without you, we would never have escaped that place. And for that, I thank you. I'm leaving this message inside you because I have seen glimpses of the future. And the bond that he and I share does not allow him to hide everything from me. More of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something. Something on the edge of the galaxy, and he believes that he must go there to end it. But I am afraid for him. Afraid that he may not return. I need you to be the beacon, T3. If he is lost out there, on the edge of the galaxy, if he finds whatever terrible thing he has seen, then he may not survive. If he doesn't make it back, then I need you to return to the Republic. Find help. If you cannot find me, then seek out other Jedi. The Republic... I can't lose him, even if he believes he is protecting me.
Okay, that just got real. So, in the unlikely event, if you're watching and you've never played KOTOR 1, that's Bastila, the female lead of the game, not the player character, mind. In canon, your character from KOTOR 1 is... If you've never played it, I've just spoiled it. No, I didn't. I just muted that. Haha, so you don't know your player character. Your player character is male and falls in love with Bastila and happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. Except, apparently, going off to the edge of the galaxy to find this dark secret. Unknown regions, wild space, something out there. And I'm pretty sure out in wild space. I'm trying to remember. It was a Greg Bear book. I remember who wrote the damn book. I don't remember. Future Steve, hit me up with a book cover of the book I'm thinking of right now. Thank you. Now, that book I remember tied into the Vong story, which takes place like 30 years after the Battle of Yavin or something like that. Sort of around the time the current sequel trilogy takes place. But there's a whole lot different between Legends and canon, so anyway. So the friend of yours? Yeah, So who's the person the hologram was talking about? Not gonna tell me, are you? Another missing friend. Got a lot of friends. What happened to your friend and why aren't you with him? Because he could not take anyone with him, even the woman in the hologram? I'm guessing that's an affirmative. And he left you. I'm sorry, T3. T3 sure does get himself mixed up in a lot of adventures, doesn't he? Galaxy-shaping adventures. Kind of like R2-D2 and BB-8 and etc, etc. But you did help. You found us, T3. And if we could stop the Sith, then there is hope after all. At least you didn't say anything like Spark. So this help that you came in search of, you came in search of me? Oh god, no, son. I was just looking for anyone. Let's see. But why me? I was powerless, defenseless. Wish we had like a little translator. You know how in Empire Strikes Back, the console there in front of Luke in his X-Wing, it seemed to translate, like you could see the text come up in Orabesh? Is that's the language name? It shows up in that. And in Empire. At least I think it showed up in Orabesh in Empire. So you need someone strong enough to fight the danger that was coming, someone who knew war and battle and could make the hard choices that had to be made, or you need the last of the Jedi. So the last hero of the Mandalorian Wars, me. I'm sure he would call me a hero, but... As if this droid that you pay for all you've done and for all you've put me through. Oh, that's mean. You can't be mean to this droid. I like T3. He's one of the few sane ones on the ship. So. Anyway, let's go. Oh, I gained light side points because I was nice to T3. And to think I was going to fix him up, but instead we got a lot more interesting shit happening. Now, we want to... You know, where did H... No, that's... She's gone. Where did HK run off to? I'm disappointed I didn't walk in on a chat. Let me be honest. So can I use that? Can I? No, not the color crystal. take out that, because that's the Hinmirdon Crusher Crystal, because... Oops. Because that seems like a bad idea for now, but it was mentioned in the comments at one point that I can bring it over to Kreia, and she could give it a little upgrade, a little update, a little tune. So, who do we want to chat with first? How about BioWare?
Yes, General?
What's your opinion about the Telos? Do you have any shields I can use?
Sorry, General, I'm flat out. I'll see if I can make some more when I get a chance. Something else I can help you with?
Well, that would have been helpful, but, where'd you pick up the remote anyways? Did we ask him that yet?
That old thing? I built him when I was a kid. Been following me around for years now, despite what I've done to try and chase him off. Hey, just kidding. I'm happy to have you around.
Does, do anything other than follow you around?
He helps me out with repairs. I outfitted him with a cutting laser and some other tools for delicate modifications. He's also good for singeing the pants of annoying techs.
At least the remote has a sense of humor.
I've been thinking about doing some other work on him, but I barely have time. Too busy fixing up the ship. Something else I can help you with?
It's a bit of a pile of shit, isn't it? Alright. That's good. How about you? How are you doing?
Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master?
As always, several. But, no, just questions.
Statement. Ah, more questions. Wonderful.
No wonder why we all love him. Alright. How did you get scattered all over the galaxy? Did we ask him that question yet?
Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them.
Set me back as something of a pain, yes.
Statement. That is indeed unfortunate, Master. It is merely another thing my attacker will answer for. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience.
Well, I've blown up enough HK droids that I've had my share for a while, don't worry.
Statement. Ah, more questions. Wonderful.
And, how about the other HK units?
Statement. Ah, yes, them. Very well. What did you wish to know?
Let's see. Do you know where the clones are created? No, that's why do you need me? Do you know why they are hunting me? Why are you masquerading as protocol droids? Why did they start revealing themselves now? I don't think we've asked why they started revealing themselves now.
Answer. I do not know why these clones chose now to start revealing themselves. Theory. I can only assume that some critical moment is approaching where stealth and subtlety is no longer required. Not that those Durasteel-plated knockoffs know anything of stealth or subtlety. Observation. It is clear, however, that they have been placed throughout the galaxy at critical junctures, both in the Republic fleet and in neutral worlds, and they seem to be looking for Jedi.
Well, if you were, going to look for Jedi, I think tying yourself in with the Republic would be a good way of doing it.
Statement. What of them?
So, we don't know where. So, let's see. You sound pretty disgusted by these duplicates.
Answer. My feelings on the matter are something that I feel I must put in proper context, in a way that even a meatbag such as yourself could easily comprehend. Theory. Imagine, if you will, that you are unique, the pinnacle of an exiled, cast-out Jedi who can't even use the Force. Imagine that no one has sunk lower than you, that you are truly the most miserable example of a Jedi ever.
I feel as though we've heard this one before. It's going somewhere.
Continuation. Now that you have that image, imagine this. Someone clones you. Badly, I might add. They make the clones talk differently, rob you of any shred of personality, and take your Jedi code and adjust it, so that it is not really the Jedi code anymore. They even change your pigmentation to a rather poor shade of Durasteel, rather than the proper rusty red that inspires fear in targets. And of course, they refer to meat bags as organics. Unacceptable.
Of all the crimes. So yeah, that explains it.
Clarification. Anger would be an understatement for the heat that builds up in my behavior core when these cheap imitations make their presence felt throughout the galaxy. Statement. Part of the indignity of all these copies is that they impair my ability to perform my function. The more people throughout the galaxy recognize me as an illegal assassination device, the more difficulty I will have in carrying out my mission.
Alright, well, that's good to know. Thank you, boss. Didn't get very far with that one, so. Anyone, yeah. Visas moved in there. Talked to that handmaiden, Atton. We've talked to BioWare, our 2 droids. Am I missing anyone on the team? Well, obviously I've got 3 spots missing, but just going through the team, we've hit everyone except Visas. So let's... Alright, now I suppose is the time for... Oh no, we haven't talked to Kreia yet. We haven't talked to Kreia yet. Fool, you meant to talk to Kreia, but you haven't yet. So we may want to do that. You know, here I was thinking I might accomplish something in this episode, but we're chatting with folks and we're learning new things. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that, the Atton chat and the... Where's the Atton chat in the last episode? No, the Atton chat was in this one. 20 minutes. You'd think I have some severe brain damage or something, you know, my memory the way it is, right? But I know we did the T3 one, that's for sure, and an Atton one. So we got some pretty good chats out today. So we're learning a lot of this. A lore episode is what this is. Anyway, hi Kreia.
You have befriended the Seer.
The Seer? Sorry, why do you call her the Miraluka? Why do you call her a Seer?
Her species does not see as we do. They perceive the galaxy through the Force, and it is how she found you. It is a rare gift squandered on her people. Despite your urges, it would be better to deal with her now. Whether you intend salvation or slavery, she is a threat to us. She serves one of the greatest of the Sith. She is the most trusted and only apprentice. Yet you spare her. Why?
Because, let's see. There's nothing to be... Oh, there's nothing to be gained. I don't kill my prisoners. There may be a way to help her. Maybe. And because there's nothing to be gained by murdering her. Yet.
We shall see. There may be value in such a choice to keep her alive. Or perhaps not. Whatever your intentions toward her, keep them restrained. Whether mercy or lust, we have time for neither.
Okay! That's, It's always interesting to have somebody throw something like that out who's older than your grandmother. Anyway, let's see, my intentions for her, none of your concern. It is the Jedi way to attempt to save those who need our help. I don't need a lecture from you. And if she threatens any of us again, I will deal with her, I promise you.
Is that so? Well, perhaps there will be a second chance for her to inflict harm, so you may test such a statement. It is good that you have never wondered what lay beneath her robes, if her alabaster skin was as white and unblemished as her face, or if perhaps she bore the scars of slavery, and if that would stir you more, if perhaps her deferent tone would change once you held her by the throat and showed her how far a Jedi can fall. Few are the thoughts that can hide in the shadows of your mind, Exile, and such passions are not strength but erosion.
Oh, so my character has a bit of a kinky streak to him. Is that what you're saying, Kreia? Okay, we've learned something new today. Never felt anything like that. Maybe you should keep your thoughts to yourself. My feelings for her are nothing like that, and you know it. And if you think you know me, you are wrong. And perhaps not. We shall see. I'm like 5.
I cannot help but hear you at times, and such curious thoughts they are, not at all like a Jedi. See to it that you do not ever act upon your impulses. Mating with her will bring more harm than you know. Like the servant of Atris, this one has other masters. Though blind, she has ties to darkness. Her presence here is a threat to us, to you. Do not underestimate her, or her loyalty.
Kreia just thinks if this was a BioWare game, then for sure, of course, the entire purpose of a BioWare game is to bone down with any and all of the opposite-sex companions, except in, I guess, in the most recent ones, where basically they'll let you bone down with anyone. But, anyway. I think that, I think that Obsidian's like, well, we just followed the BioWare game, therefore. It's one of those things you don't see a lot of in Star Wars is romance subplots. I know. You get like one in each trilogy, but that's about the sum of it. I mean, Luke doesn't even really have one until like well after, like in the books. I don't know how much of that was Tim's on and how much of that was, well, we want to go in this direction. We kind of have an idea. Tim, can you flesh it out? If you've not read the Thrawn trilogy, it's sort of in there, but... Let's see, ties to her master perhaps, but I tend to follow that bond to its source when the opportunity presents itself. She could see through the Force, maybe she can help us find allies. If she could see through the Force, maybe she can help us find the lost Jedi. Trust me, all I wanted was her lightsaber. And all she wanted was your lightsaber, Exile. Yeah. I think I can help her. She doesn't seem evil. Actually, if there's anyone I don't trust, it's you. Now, she doesn't trust us, so I'm not sure I trust her as a result. And ties to her master, perhaps, but I tend to follow that bond to its source when the opportunity presents itself.
Then you are learning.
So, Anne said her entire planet was wiped out. It was the only colony of her people in this sector of the galaxy. Yes, what does Kreia know of this?
Did he? And what do you make of that?
Well, if her people all see through the Force, then maybe someone wanted to blind them. Interesting.
The Mandalorians were right to respect you on the field of battle. The Jedi are gone, vanished. Now, an entire planet of Force sensitives wiped clean of life. And now this slice of the galaxy is blind. It is no coincidence. The two events are tied.
Someone wants this sector of the galaxy blind to the Force so they can move freely or strike without warning. Perhaps one of our Sith friends.
I fear you are right. And I fear it may prove more than that. War is a hunger. And there are spirits in the galaxy whose hunger is never satisfied. But there is little to be done about it now. Watch the seer carefully. She may reveal more.
Sorry, hit me in the middle of that speech. Not the part about hunger. Yes, we know Darth Nihilus, the Lord of Hunger. Whose name I picked up from the Plagueis novel, by the way. Very good book, very good book. I think I've talked about that last week, though. Anyway, we talked about... when she was talking about this, it hit me. It's like there's 3 there are. The Sith Triumvirate. The Lord of Pain, the Lord of Hunger, and the Lord of Betrayal. Kreia is implying, or maybe it's more of an inference on my part, but Kreia is implying that Visas Marr might be the Lord of Betrayal. But is she, if only an apprentice, could she be a Sith Lord? I don't think that's how it works. So I'm wondering, have we found the third man? In this case, third woman. Have we found the third man? Or is their part still to be revealed? Anyway, I had other questions, specifically about this lightsaber crystal.
Ask, and I will answer.
Oh yes, crystal.
That crystal is bonded to you. Through you, it acquires its character and strength, and through it, your power is enhanced. Should your power increase or your resolve change, speak to me again about this matter, and I will help you refocus your crystal. Is there something else you wished?
Well, where in here? Let's see. You don't seem like the handmaiden. You don't seem to like the handmaiden. What's wrong with your eyes? No Revan. Let's see. We can't, we can't get her to do anything with it. Maybe we have to go out and come back in? Perhaps. Let's see. Oh, when Visas attacked, she did something to my eyesight.
She did nothing to your eyes that was not already there. She has forced this upon you, but such crude methods are the markings of the Sith. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Feel this ship around you. Listen to my words. Hear the sound of the handmaiden's training in the cargo hold, her hands cutting the air. The welding of the droid as it goes about its work.
Hey, T3 has a stuck motivator.
Now, stretch out. Hear the rumble of hyperspace, the hum of the hyperdrive.
While we're parked. I can hear her catching it's not fully fixed. And she's gonna be like, shut up!
Ignore distractions and focus on my voice. The breathing of the blinded one as she meditates in the dark. Now, listen deeper, past her breathing, and listen.
As my feet walk from the ashes of KOTOR, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and...
I heard her thoughts. Interesting.
You are strong indeed. What you heard were surface thoughts only, but it is something that masters have trained for years and never learned.
But how did I do that? A very good question.
That is not the real question you should ask. Is such listening enough to perceive the world around you? It is not. Because to listen to the thoughts of another is much like attempting to see the universe only with your eyes. It is equally limiting. Now leave me be. I must rest.
You've gained +1 awareness and recovered some of your connection to the Force. There you go. Sure I can't chat with you? I do have the crystal in my inventory, right? Let's see. Is crafting part of this, or... They're miscellaneous, perhaps? Yes.
Yes?
Let's see. You just want to...
That crystal... Is this...
Nah, we can't really... Can't really do anything with that, interestingly enough. I just timed it poorly, perhaps. Again, I wish to learn about lightsaber combat while I'm here.
That is something we will leave until we possess a lightsaber.
Visas must have a lightsaber equipped. Interesting. Any other training you can offer?
Very well. What is it that drives you?
Spawn, we share you taught me of sight, but is there anything else you could teach me? Before, when you taught me to listen, I wish to continue that lesson. I'm more interested in learning to listen.
Very well. Sit with me. You have brushed the surface thoughts of another. It is a start. Calm yourself. This time, silence your own thoughts. Keep them still. Imagine the waters of the room of 1,000 fountains, each stream suddenly falling silent and still. Imagine the ice of Telos, cold and smooth as it gathers upon the plateau. Now, stretch out. Feel the ship around you. Strip away the metal, and see the souls and minds of those that fill its corridors, with more thoughts and dreams and worries than can fill the space of this ship.
As my feet walk from the ashes of KOTOR, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and...
From the first movement flows the second. Strike, repeat, circle one's opponent, repeat, faster, quicker. If Father had been faster. If only Father had been faster. If I was faster, I would no longer be the last of my sisters. But does Atris love him? Jedi do not love. Does Atris hate him? Jedi do not hate. This journey is harder than any she has sent me on.
Switch the face of the +1 -1 card. The totals are 9, 10. Switch the face of the +2 -2 card. The total is 8, 11. Switch.
Your command echoes still, General, and I obey, as I did at Malachor.
As my feet walk from the ashes of KOTOR,
Switch the face of the +1
I shall
-1
not
card.
fear,
The totals are 9,
for
10.
in fear
Switch the face of the +2
Your command
lies death.
echoes
card.
still,
The
General,
total is 8,
and I
11.
obey,
Switch.
as I did at Malachor.
That sound in the background, what is it? I assume it's a little more than just everybody having their own, being trapped in their own head.
Not now. Focus on my voice.
Malachor.
Now do you hear me? Truly hear me?
I hear you. This is incredible.
You have taken the first steps on a much longer road, Exile.
What about the droids?
The droids cannot be read in such a way. As for the alien who served with you in the war, its thoughts are more difficult, requiring many translations in meaning. Often it is better to read their impulses and images than their spoken thoughts. That is why he is deaf to you. I have found his impulses are cold, like a dead weight. His thoughts are black.
But I did hear something from him? Interesting, what would she make of that?
Indeed. It is strange that I did not.
Maybe it's because I know him better, I served with him?
Perhaps. I would not put much weight on such things.
There's also something wrong with Atton's thoughts. I wonder what that is.
Of course there was. It is because Atton was not playing Pazak, yet he counts cards in his head. At times he will list off engine sequencers, memorize the hyperspace routes on the other side of the galaxy, count the ticking in the power couplings even though they are fixed. At other times, he will imagine certain base lusts, certain indignities. It may be Atton is far cleverer than he feigns to be, or perhaps he is simply a fool.
Well, we know which one you vote for. Perhaps maybe I'll go see him and see how his Pazak game is coming. More force points and more influence gained with Kreia. If nothing else, this has been a thoroughly fascinating episode. We've still got Visas to visit, but we're learning a lot about everyone. Well, except the droids. Oh yeah, speaking of droids. So can we, can't have a check on that? Let's see. I can. Can I get a programming spike from you? I will put this good to use. There's something else I needed. Was there? Oh, there was nothing about him having a bad motivator or stuck motivator. So we couldn't follow up on that. That's a shame. But we can. Oh, but it was under computer use, was it not? I can upgrade his core again. Let's see. It might take a while, so you might want to lock down your systems. I don't remember if either of those really makes a difference, but... Ah, well. Well. Let's see, as if I deleted your connection to your photoreceptors, I'm sorry. We'll try again later, At least we got a computer spike. And we can't fix the, hyperdrive from here. Well, we can, check in one last chat today.
My life for yours.
That sounds ominous. But we can. Well, we've got some let's see. We can. Are you alright? How did you find me? Who sent you? We should teach you some of the forms I've learned. We should teach you some of the techniques I've learned in my travels. Interesting. Maybe we can figure out why we have that, and I had some questions for you. So let's start at the top and work our way down.
I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you.
That wasn't what I asked.
I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek.
In Medbay, we noticed you have scars. Who hurt you?
The scars are many and the causes equally so. It is of no importance.
Is every Force user that damn... What's the word I'm looking for? Opaque with what's happening? So how did you find me?
I felt you. Heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it.
So who sent you? Maybe not she was sent, but so much as sent herself.
I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why.
Need to know where I can find your master? No, I don't.
You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready.
Ready? As in, you've almost gotten massacred by me? It's like you don't have a chance against Nihilus?
If I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter.
That... I don't understand. I don't want to try any of these, because that looks like it could be trouble. So, other questions?
I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you.
So, was your master the one sent to Paragus? Was he behind the destruction of Paragus? No, that was mostly me. I heard your species is blind. How are you able to see so? Was your master the one sent to Paragus?
I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction.
What do you mean?
There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same. The death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you.
Oh, great. So we've got everyone in the whole damn galaxy.
Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me.
Because I know you can be saved. I don't really know why. I try not to think of why. It's only a weak servant that's no use at all. Surely the Sith has taught you that. Yes, that.
I must warn you. If you weaken yourself for me, then it will kill you.
To help, there is not weakness, it is strength to have them both. You have curious views for a Sith. I do not understand where your power of the dark side comes from. You are too even-tempered and submissive for my tastes. So, little bit of that 50 Shades of Grey bullshit happening there. Whether they intended to, I guess it depends if you had your chat with Kreia first or not. And I think... oh, God. Anyway, yes, you have curious views for a Sith.
There is more to the Sith than simply rage or slaughter. There are many kinds of hate, and all of them have the call of the dark side in them. The galaxy is filled with many such evils, and rarely have I seen anything else.
What do you mean?
I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories, or the planet itself.
Now, in the Darth Plagueis book, just to kind of go off of that for just a moment, but in the Plagueis book, when Sidious joined up with Plagueis, he was sort of in his teens, but never been discovered by the Jedi, despite having great Force potential, whereas Plagueis himself, when he entered the power of his, or I guess entered the stewardship of his master, Darth Tenebrous, was quite young, probably, single-digit years old. Whereas you have an Anakin Skywalker who was, a fully trained Jedi Knight by the time he had turned to the dark side. Dooku was long since a Jedi Master and had served on the Council. It happens at all ages to become a Sith. Just so you know. How old was Darth Zana when she joined Bane? Probably around 10, I think they said in the first book. Anyway, so tell me about your homeworld then.
It is not something I speak of. The homeworld is no longer, and that is all.
I'll go now. Oh, net light side. Shift, gain, lost. Just a little bit of everything there. So out of curiosity, it is a little bit higher up than it was the last time. Not intended, but apparently I thought I was doing a decent job. But, oh well. I think we're going to use that to call it a day, and the next time out what we'll do is we'll head off the ship, and we'll go back onto Nar Shaddaa and see what's happening. But until then, I'm Unsilent. Thanks very much for joining me. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you are new. Share on social media. Follow on social media. The social media handle is Unsilent on Air, and that is for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. And don't forget you can check out more KOTOR 2 in the playlist. It's on the screen, in the description down below, and more videos anytime on the channel page. And until the next time, I'm Unsilent. Thanks very much for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time.